Boo! Hi, my name is Yoga or Agoy, whichever you want to call me. And today, we're going to talk about Thai BL series yet again. Singto, 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 singto. But this time, I'm currently wearing white shirt and a bag and also a black pants because one, it's Halloween, and two, I'm dressing up as one of those background characters in the Thai BL series. You know, like when they went into college, they will usually wear this kind of stuffs. And because I want to get in the series for obvious reasons, might as well dressing up as one of them, you know, like so obviously there's going to be a bit of a spoiler, so if you haven't watched the series that I'm going to talk about today, then might as well watch it first and then go watch my video. But before we begin, make sure that you leave a like, share, subscribe, and also comment down below because it really helps me in my channel. And you can also follow my social medias too in order to keep in touch with me. And with that being said, let's just get into it. So the first Thai BL series that I'm going to talk to you guys today is SOTUS or SOTUS, which starred Chris, Singto, New, Off, Gunsmile, and more. The story revolves around Kong Pop, which is basically this new student at an engineering faculty, and Artit, who is basically a head hazer in engineering faculty, who met each other during the orientation program or the hazing program that is called SOTUS. At first, they may not like each other because the hazing program can be a bit mean sometimes, but as time goes by, they started to get to know each other and they started to respect each other, and eventually they started to fall in love. Now, this is one of, if not the most popular and most iconic BL series that has ever been made, period. And for good reasons too, you know? Like, the chemistry between Chris and Singto are top-notch and also seems natural. And the development between the characters also felt natural and it doesn't really felt rushed. And when I watched this series, I feel like it's more than just a BL, you know? Like, it felt more than just a story between two boys falling in love because there's like this interesting story about the hazing culture that also goes around in the series. It also talks about it in a more neutral way, you know? Like, you get to see both the new student and the hazing staff's perspective in the series. And as someone who has been both the new student and the hazing staff during the hazing program thingy, I could really relate to both Kompop and Artit's struggles, so that's really something that I really like in the series, so yeah. So if you haven't watched the series for some reason, I highly recommend you to start watching this series and also to watch SOTUS S2 because it's as good as the first one, so yeah. So the next Thai BL series that I'm going to talk to you guys today is The Effect. So this is one of the more underrated series that's starred by Oat and James. So the story is about Shin, who admires this really popular and basically a top student named Kang. And for some reason, they started to get to know each other and they started to get close with each other. But unfortunately, their relationship didn't really end up well because of the rumors and the hate comments that has been spreading around the university, which really affects both of them personally and also affects their relationship. So trigger warning, this series might include some topic that can be really traumatizing and also too much for some of you, such as cyberbullying or the R word. So what I like this series is that it talks about a rather dark and deep things that has been happening in this world, such as cyberbullying and how it can affect a lot of people. It also tackled the issues of the R word in a rather disturbing and realistic and saddening way. And it is definitely backed up by both Oat and James's acting during that dread scene, which really makes me shiver. Not only that, but it also subtly talks about a lot more stuff, such as homophobia or anxiety, or how to be a supportive friend, how to be a supportive parents, and so forth. And even though the ending might be confusing to some of you because it is an open ending, I still recommend you guys to watch this series, but be extra careful when watching this series. And if you think you cannot handle that topic, then I suggest you to watch something else. So the next series that I'm going to talk to you guys today is YYY the Series, which starred Yoon, Talay, Poppy, P, Scott, and more. The story revolves around Not, who asked Pun to be his fake boyfriend so that he didn't get kicked out by the apartment owner named Porpla, which is basically this die-hard Fujoshi. But as the story progresses, they obviously get to know each other and eventually fell in love with each other. So if you really like chaotic humor or crack-headed humor or memes like I do, then you will absolutely love this series. Because my god, this series is basically on crack. Like, it is just a bunch of chaotic mess, but in a good way, you know? Most, if not all of the characters in the series are funny, chaotic, and iconic, especially Porpla. The jokes themselves are either a hit or a miss, but most of them kind of revolves around slapsticks humor and also a crack-headed humor or something like that. But in my opinion, some of them still works and some of them are still funny as hell. But I gotta remind you guys that the opening sequence of the series might be too much for your eyes because it includes flashing lights. But even with all of the chaos that is happening in the series, you can definitely still understand the whole plot and the whole story of it, which is something that I really like about the series. And you can also still see the development between each character and also the development of the relationship. So it's not just some nonsense and just full-on comedic effects. So if you want to sit back and relax and have a good laugh or two, then YYY the Series is definitely a good series for you. So the next series that I'm going to talk to you guys today is The Best Story. Now this is a rather short series that starred Yin and War. Now the story is about Best, who basically had a crush on Do after they accidentally met, and because of that, they are brought closer and closer to each other each and every day. And just like the other series that I've mentioned so far, the chemistry between both Yin and War are solid. And not only that, but I really love the relationship between two of them, and also I really love the friendship between Do and his friend and also Best and his friends. The story itself is also well paced and well wrapped up, even though it's just 3 episodes. The O's are also amazing and catchy, and it has a sad tone into it, which really amplified by the plot twist that is happening in episode 3. So yeah, don't be fooled by the happy tone and cute and fluffy relationship between Do and Bess in the first 2 episodes, because they went into a sadder ending, which is really sad and really makes you feel so many emotions afterward. Because it involves homophobic parents and also a jealous friend, which really drove both Best and Do away from each other. Now, even though it ends on a sadder note, it is still an open ending, and it kind of opens a new possibilities for their relationships. So overall, this is one of the greater series that came out this year because it really makes you feel a lot of emotions, especially at the end. And I highly recommend you guys to watch the series. Period. So the next Thai BL series that I'm going to talk to you guys today is Second Chance the Series. It is starred by Tong, Fluke, Mawin, Ran, Games, and Nine. So this series essentially talks about 3 couples, Tong, Fa, and Paper, Chris and Jeno, and also Emma Neer. The production quality might be a little bit lacking and the story might be a little bit cliche, but it is still definitely something that is worth watching and is still definitely a good story that they tell in a rather beautiful way. I mean, the relationship between all of the couple is really wholesome and really well developed, and there's no unnecessary dramas and all that kind of stuffs. And not only that, this series really made me feel warm and fluffy and giggity inside because of all of this cute and light-hearted stories that is essentially told by all of the couples in the series. Plus, the best friend to lovers trope are one of my weakness, so that's why I really like the series too.
Nobody asked.
Aside from that, the chemistry between all of the characters are sweet and cute, especially Chris and Jeno. The O's also adds up to the warmth feeling that I felt for the series. And the kissing scene is surprisingly better than most of the BL series that I've watched because it felt so passionate and it really adds up to the warm feeling that I felt. So even though this Thai BL series is not as popular as the other ones from 2021, I still recommend you guys to watch this series because it's really cute and fluffy and warm and all around a solid, wholehearted series. So the last series that I'm going to talk about today is Ingredients the Series. Now this is a mini-series starring Jeff and Gameplay. It tells a story about two friends, Marwin and Tops, who basically live in a same house and became housemates. And even though they have a different interest and different dreams, like Marwin wants to be a musician while Tops wants to be a chef, they both still manage to develop a rather healthy friendship, which really turns into a beautiful relationship. Okay, so first thing first, the actors are talented as hell. Like, both of their acting felt natural and also felt real, especially during the emotional scenes, which is really something that I like from the series. And not to mention that both Jeff and Gameplay are a pro at what they're doing. Like, Jeff is a great singer, as you can tell from the Oast, and Gameplay actually graduated from a culinary school. And not to mention that this series is really cute and fluffy and lighthearted, which is instantly becomes one of my personal favorites out of the bunch. I mean, the relationship between both of them are really healthy and really cute and really fluffy. And also, they have a rather steady development and it is really well paced. And not to mention that the chemistry between Jeff and Gameplay felt so real, especially during the emotional scenes, which really adds up to why I really like the series. The story is also told in a slice of life type of way and also in a more episodic way, so it kind of felt more grounded and it kind of felt like you are watching two boys just living their lives every day and slowly falling in love with each other. So at the end of the day, Ingredients the series is hands down one of my favorite BL series, and I would definitely recommend you guys to watch the series. So yeah, that's the end of the video.
A lot of people. Do you watch?
Thank you so much for watching my video. I'm really sorry if there's any mistakes that I made or if there's some repetitive things that I mentioned a lot of times. Question of the day. Who is your favorite Thai actors, whether from BL or from other series in general? Mine is definitely a toss-up between Fluke, and Perth, and so much more. Like, I really like all of them. If you really like this video, you can give it a like, share, subscribe, and also comment down below if you really have other series to talk to or if you want to discuss the series that I've mentioned so far. And you can also follow my social medias too in order to keep in touch with me. And with that being said, I'll see you guys whenever I want to see you guys again or whenever I can see you guys again. Dadah! Wait, no, not dadah. Bye!